This is Eric Wilson, and this is a review of our final week, Week 4's Go-To Meeting. There are a lot of images that I wanted to show regarding how I was going to approach Week 4's activity, but really in summary, it's a collaboration of weeks 1 through 3. But it's not that easy, of course. There are some wrinkles, there are some challenges, and there are some things that if you want to reach the master level, you're going to have to do some research. So I felt the best review of Monday's go-to meeting isn't really how he showed us what he expects to see, because that would just be kind of like copying his own video. I think the most important thing really to take away is that there's way too much to learn in a 4-week period, in an 8-week period. I'd rather to say in a year when it comes to knowing everything that titanium does. And titanium, let's understand this, titanium is one of several app creators that funnel native code into Android, iPad, iPhone, etc. So it behooves us to always bookmark the titanium documentation. And I say that because you'll call back on it many times when working with titanium. And the most important thing is to know just how much there is at your fingertips. So here are your choices. You got global. We didn't really do alloy this month. Modules, Aero. We worked on titanium. So if I open up titanium, you can see there's just a ton of stuff just in titanium alone. But we're going to cover the UI, or the user interface, because these are things that we are familiar with. Now, I'm not going to go all the way down and say, hey, you know, this is how you do a window, because we know how to do a window. A text field has been suggested, but you can see things that we have covered, and such as table view row, text area is listed for this week. But I wanted to get right into the iPhone itself and some of the things that he would like to see. I mean, he gave us 6 or 8 different, and I bookmarked them here, 6 or 8 different things, such as document viewer, text area, switch, picker, alert dialog, progress bar, and those things are all found within the titanium documentation apps. And so when you go into iOS and you go into, say, something like iPhone, you start to see the similarities. There's the system button, there's the table view style, there's the scroll position, the table view scroll position, and then there's the list view scroll position. 2 different things. What are they? Well, you click on them and you find out. Again, to wrap it up in a nice little bubble, there is so much, like the status bar. You know, what is the status bar? It's a set of constraints for the status bar itself. Properties are listed here. A lot of these things are read-only, but like a system button. You know, what does the system button do? These are things that we're going to always need to know because the code is always going to be changing. As we know in this class alone, we went from titanium to something called Appcelerator. They both do the same thing, but titanium decided to go to Appcelerator. So we were actually introduced to both, whereas next month they're just going to be doing Appcelerator for however many months, not years, however many months that Appcelerator will be the field of choice until they change that. But if you want to know about the UI, the titanium, the ti.ui, here it is. The design, if you're kind of confused on, you know, what's a view, what's a window, what's a control, they've got it all right down here. Don't ever feel lost. Like, one of the things I looked up was menu. I want to build a menu. It's one of the requirements of this week's assignment. And there it is. Don't want Android menu, but I sure would like to know how we do it with an iPhone. And there it is. The menu fires when the option menu appears before the document is previewed. Again, it's a type of it's source object. Type is a string, it's Boolean, therefore I could go on and on. But I've gone long enough, again, to review, to put a nice little bubble or a nice little ribbon on this. Week 4's go-to meeting was about empowering us with knowledge that says, hey, If you don't know how things are done, chances are pretty good somebody else has had the same problem, and it's been, this is where you go to find your answers. I hope you have a great week. It's been a fun month, and I look forward to working with you all soon.